Hello and welcome to this video, Breathing for Swimming. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some breathing practices to help you feel more calm and confident when swimming in the water. So whether you're a seasoned swimmer in the pool or in the ocean, and you're maybe perhaps still feeling a little bit breathless or a little bit fatigued on your longer swims, or even if you're a new swimmer and you're a bit nervous about putting your head in the water or even trying to figure out how to breathe, while you're moving in the water, these practices will help you on your journey. I would just like to say first that I'm coming at this not from a swim coach perspective, but from a functional breathing perspective. I'm a keen sea swimmer and I have noticed how my own swimming has improved greatly since I've trained in breathwork. So I just thought I'd love to share some simple practices with you to help you along the way. Also, if you have any underlying health conditions, heart conditions, epilepsy, any surgeries to the torso, please be mindful when doing these practices. It's always good to check in with your GP before you embark on any breathing practices. On that note, we will begin. So the first practice we're going to do today is a really simple practice called many small breath holds. It's a functional breathing practice from the Oxygen Advantage program, and it involves simply breathing in and out through the nose on every third counter. So we're going to do a breath hold after the exhalation. We'll be pinching our nose and holding for about 5 seconds. So it's important to note with this practice just to keep the breath nice, slow and low, in and out through the nose. When we pinch the nose and hold after the exhale, firstly, we're never going to force all of the air out of the nose. So it's just a normal exhale. We don't have to empty everything out completely. So it's a normal exhale out and we pinch the nose and we hold. We'll be holding for a count of 5. Now, if you notice as we go through this practice that you're feeling a little bit like you need to take a bigger breath, this is just a sign of a low carbon dioxide tolerance. So don't worry about that, but you can simply adjust your breathing to a count of 3 instead of 5. We never want to push our breathing beyond what's comfortable for us, and that is really important. So we can make progress at a level that suits us as an individual. Another thing to note with this practice is after the breath hold, when we're breathing in, the breath again should be soft, slow, and gentle. So if you find yourself trying to take a big, deep breath in quite fast through the nose, again, it's just a sign that you're feeling that what we call air hunger. And again, the air hunger is all about just having low carbon dioxide tolerance. So this practice will help to build the carbon dioxide tolerance, which is really important. So it's good to note that on a scientific level, carbon dioxide is the gas that is responsible for oxygen uptake in the body. So it ensures that the oxygen it leaves the blood and that it goes into all of our organs, our tissues, and our muscles and our brain, everything like that. And of course, when we're swimming, we're actively moving, so our muscles are going to be requiring more oxygen. So this practice is going to help, get more oxygen to those muscles that need it. It's also a very calming and relaxing practice. So if you feel a little bit nervous about being in the water, this is a lovely practice to do before you go swimming. And of course, it's really important to note on this point that we never do any of these breathing practices in or near water. Okay, let's begin. Find yourself a comfortable seated position. You can be seated as I am on the floor like so, or you can even be seated in a chair. The important thing is to make sure that the spine is nice and straight. If you're seated on a chair, just make sure both feet are nice and flat on the floor. We're just going to take a moment to connect to ourselves and connect to our breath. You might like to wriggle the seat bones, ground into the ground. Bring a little smile to the face. And just take a nice, slow, deep breath in through the nose here. And a slow, relaxed breath out. Just begin following your breath here in and out of the nose for a couple of moments. Just simply noticing how it feels to breathe. Now, if anybody is struggling to breathe in and out through the nose, you might like to check out my nose unblocking exercise on one of my other videos. I'll pop a link below. It could be really helpful just to ease any congestion in the nose. Breathing in here. Slow, soft breath out. Just bringing awareness to any parts of the body where you may be holding any tension and just allowing that to soften, whether it's in the jaw or the shoulders or the neck or even the torso. With each inhale, just gently feel the body expanding softly. With each exhale, just allow the body to soften and relax. And we begin on our next inhale. So we're going to take a nice, slow, gentle breath in through the nose. And a slow, soft, relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose. Soft, slow, relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in. Slow, soft, relaxed breath out through the nose. And you're going to pinch your nose now and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in through the nose. Slow, relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose. Slow, soft, relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in. Relaxed breath out as you pinch the nose and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow, soft, relaxed breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in. Relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in and relaxed breath out. And again, gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out through the nose. You pinch the nose and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose. And relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in. Relaxed breath out. And again, if you need to adjust your count from 5 to 3, feel free to do so as we inhale now. Slow, soft, gentle. Relaxed exhale and pinch the nose and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. Slow, soft, gentle breath in and relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. And again, gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. You're going to pinch your nose and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in through the nose and relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in and relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose and relaxed breath out. And again, gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out through the nose as you pinch the nose and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in through the nose and relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in and relaxed breath out. Gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out. And again, gentle breath in through the nose. Relaxed breath out through the nose. Pinch the nose and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentle breath in and gentle, relaxed breath out. Just letting go of any control of the breath here now and allowing the breath to simply be. Feeling the breath flowing in and out of the body, in and out through the nose if possible. And just taking a moment to be the kind observer of the self. Noticing how that practice felt for you. You may feel a little calmer. You may notice an increase in saliva in your mouth as the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So that was many small breath holds, a wonderful practice to bring a sense of calm to the nervous system and also to support us in slowing our respiratory rate, building our CO2 tolerance, and getting more oxygen into all the parts of the body that need it. So this next practice that we're going to do is called pursed lips breathing. So usually with functional breathing, we're very focused on nasal breathing only. However, we all know that when we swim, we can't breathe in and out through our nose. So what's the next best thing? We have to use our mouth. So personally, when I breathe, when I stroke and I turn to the side, we have to breathe in through the mouth. A couple of things to note. If we take short, shallow breaths in, a quick breath in when we go to catch the water and turn and swim, often we're just getting oxygen up into the upper lobes of the lungs, okay? What's going to happen here is firstly, the upper part of our lungs is connected to a fight-flight response. So we're going to feel a little bit on edge if we're, breathing quick and fast into here all the time. But also no oxygen is going to get delivered into all of the muscles and tissues because our alveoli are in the lower parts of the lungs. So really, we kind of need to get the air, even though we're moving quite quickly when we breathe, when we swim, a longer, slower, deeper breath into the lungs is what we need to aim for. So by being able to draw the breath into the lungs slowly and low down towards the bottom of the alveoli, one, we're going to activate the vagus nerve, feeling calmer while we're swimming. Also, the air is going to get down towards the alveoli, and then the gas exchange can take place and bring the oxygen again into the cells that need it. So we need a lot of diaphragmatic diaphragmatic action going on here. Again, a lot of us might be used to when we breathe low, you might kind of be aware of this belly breathing and the breath kind of moving in and out like so. But in functional breathing, really we have this three-dimensional expansion of the rib cage, okay? So when we're activating our diaphragm, we should actually feel the ribs opening up and flaring out like this three-dimensional direction like so, and then coming in again like this. We'll even feel it in the back ribs. So with this practice, with the pursed lips breathing, we're going to be inhaling and exhaling through a small space in the mouth. So it's a little bit like we're going to be drinking from a straw. Okay, so when we drink from a straw, we're going to be like sucking the liquid up through the straw. We're just going to be imagining that instead of liquid, we have air. We're going to be sucking the air in through the mouth through this small space, like so. So when we breathe in through this small space, we're generating we're generating pressure because it's a small space. So there's force and there's resistance there, which is going to begin to engage the diaphragm. And the same on the exhale. We're going to very slowly exhale through the pursed lips. And again, you should feel this area here activating. If you don't feel anything here, you're not exhaling with enough force. So a good thing to check, if you exhale through the small space in your mouth, blowing out, if you wave your finger across the airstream, you should literally hear it and feel it on your finger. If you can't hear or feel anything, it's simply just that there's not enough force coming out when you exhale. So when I say force, do it within your own means, but you should feel an engagement here. Just a little note on the exhale. It's important when we exhale that we keep the lips pursed and we avoid puffing the cheeks. We don't want to be out like this. We want to just keep the lips engaged so that we really do feel the activation here. Okay, so pursed lips breathing in and out through a small space in the mouth, activating the diaphragm, helping to support our respiratory strength and breathing function. Let's go. So again, getting yourself nice and comfortable. If you need a little wriggle of the spine, do. We're going to firstly take a breath in and out through the nose. Nice, slow, gentle breath in through the nose. And again, slow, soft, relaxed breath out, ensuring that the spine is nice and straight, shoulders down and back. We're keeping this respiratory system nice and open. And again, slow, soft breath in and out through the nose. Keeping the body nice and relaxed. We'll begin now on our next inhale. Getting our pursed lips ready, like we're about to drink through a straw as we inhale, slowly inhaling. And pursed lips, exhale. Feeling it here in the diaphragm. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. If you have low blood pressure issues, actually don't do this one. Just continue breathing in and out through your nose, nice and slow. Inhaling through pursed lips. Exhaling pursed lips. Inhaling pursed lips. And exhaling. Really feeling the diaphragm engage on the exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Really engaging this muscle here, the diaphragm, the core muscles. Inhaling. And exhaling. Slow, gentle breath in. Soft, relaxed breath out. So we're getting a lot of just movement in around this part of the body here. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Two more breaths at your own pace here. And after your last exhale, Again, take nice, soft, slow, gentle breaths in and out through your nose. The nose allows us to regulate the breath, keep the breath nice and slow. And again, just taking a moment to be the kind observer of the self, noticing how that practice felt. You might notice a bit of tightness here or a bit of like workout muscle sensation here if you're not used to using the diaphragm. It's okay. Again, just soft breaths in and out through the nose. Giving a little thanks to the breath, thanks to the body for receiving the breath. Gratitude for this awareness of the breath. So that was pursed lips breathing, a really good practice to help bring the awareness to the diaphragm, activate the diaphragm, and strengthen our breathing system. So the final practice we're going to do here today is the three-step breath. It's a yogic practice called Dirga Pranayama. And I find this is a really, really wonderful breathing practice to bring awareness to all three aspects of the lungs. So our lungs are divided into three lobes. The left lung actually only has two lobes because it's got a little niche carved out of it that the heart rests and sits in, which I always think is really lovely. Generally, we have the lower lobes of the lungs where the alveoli are and the oxygen exchange takes place. We have the middle lungs and the upper lungs here as well. Our lower lungs are associated with our rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. Upper lungs, fight or flight, sympathetic nervous system. Obviously, we want to always work to be in balance. If we're too on edge, we're going to have a scattered day. If we're too down here, we're not going to get much done. In terms of this one is going to help improve our breathing volume, our respiratory strength. This practice is often very good for anyone who suffers from asthma. As well with this practice, we're supporting the health of the tissues in the lungs. So it's a little bit like the muscles. If you don't use it, you lose it. If parts of the lung tissue isn't stimulated, it becomes weaker and it just becomes more of a little house for bacteria and viruses to grow in and becomes like a little bit weaker in terms of our immunity and health of the lungs in that way. So with this practice, we're going to firstly start just bringing our awareness to each part of the lungs. So we're going to practice first, just breathing down towards the belly. So this practice is belly, rib cage, chest. On the exhale, we're consciously breathing from the chest first, exhaling from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. So we need to spend a bit of time being aware of the breath here. It's a very relaxing practice. Sometimes the mind can wander. So we bring it right back to the breath. So I invite you just to place a hand on the belly here and a hand on the heart center or the chest here. Again, just connecting to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in and out, I'd just like you to bring your awareness and notice which hand moves when you breathe. So you might notice just the lower hand moving, or you might feel the upper hand moving. You may feel both hands moving. If you notice both hands moving, I invite you just to begin slowing the breath down a little bit more with the intention of allowing your belly to gently meet your lower hand and gently push the hand out. So again, we're not forcing anything here. This is all really gentle. Feeling the lower hand rise here. And on the exhale, feeling the lower hand soften. You can even imagine your belly button just tucking gently in towards your spine here. Inhaling, feel the belly rise. And exhaling, feeling the belly soften. So we're just bringing the breath to the belly here. Inhaling, feeling the belly rise. Exhaling, feeling the belly soften. So the upper hand should be quite still here. No movement in the shoulders. Relaxing the jaw and the neck. Inhaling, belly rise. Exhaling, belly soften. We're going to take our hands now. We're going to make these little C shape with our hands. We're going to just put the hands, wrap them around our lower ribs. So just following dance your fingers down along your rib cage, finding your lower ribs here. And on the back body, so just to wrap your thumbs around your back ribs as well. So remember, breathing is three-dimensional. So we should feel this in the back as well. So the aim here is, again, we were just breathing into the belly. We're going to continue breathing into the belly. I like to use the analogy of a vase. Like when we pour the water into a vase, the water will hit the bottom of the vase first, and the more we fill it, the water will gradually rise up. It's the same with oxygen. When we breathe in, like our lungs are like a vase and we're pouring the air into the lungs, we bring it down, it goes to the bottom first. So that was our belly. So now we're going to gradually rise it up so that it inflates into the ribs. We're engaging the diaphragm here. So pressing the hands nice and firmly against the rib cage. When we breathe in, we want to feel the belly rising a little bit, but then the breath going into our hands. It's almost like you're trying to breathe into your hands and pushing your hands out the way. Okay. So you should feel the hands gently expand on the inhale and contract on the exhale. Let's give it a go. So again, just relaxing the breath, gentle breath in through the nose and relaxed breath out. Now, as we breathe in through the nose, now gentle, slow breath in down towards the belly. Feeling the belly rise slightly. Allow the breath, so nice and slow for this one, to expand a little bit more, feeling it into your hands here now. Feeling the hands expand outwards. And exhaling, letting go, feel the ribs going back in towards the spine, belly softening. And again, inhaling belly, expanding up into the ribs, feeling the hands move apart. Exhaling, feeling the ribs contracting, coming back in, belly soften. One more breath like this. Inhaling into the belly, into the ribs. Exhaling, releasing from the ribs. And releasing from the belly. Well done. So we're now going to journey this breath from the belly, from the ribs, up into the chest. So remember, this isn't going to be a very big breath. It's going to be a slow, deep breath. So keep the breath slow and deep. We get the oxygen down low and we slowly fill up the lungs. We don't want to feel too much going on in the neck or the clavicle here, just a gentle opening around the heart center here. So again, you can place a hand on the chest here and a hand on the belly. We're going to take it really nice and slow here. Settling and finding the breath. And when you're ready, nice slow inhale, feeling the belly rise. Feeling that rib cage open and expand. And continue breathing, just gently feeling a little bit of openness in the chest. Exhaling, letting go from the chest first, from the ribs, from the belly. Inhaling, belly rising. Feeling the expansion into the rib cage. Very gently up into the chest. Exhaling, letting go from the chest. Letting go from the ribs. Letting go from the belly. Tucking the belly button in towards the spine at the end of the exhale. Inhaling, belly rises. Ribs open and expand. Chest. Exhale, letting go from the chest. Ribs and belly. Inhaling, feel the lower hand rise. Slow and gentle, feel the ribs open and expand. Gently into the chest. Exhaling, letting go of the chest. Ribs and belly. Inhaling into the belly. Rib cage and chest. Exhaling, chest. Rib cage. Belly. Inhaling, belly. Rib cage and chest. Exhaling from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Inhaling belly, rib cage, and chest. Exhaling chest, rib cage, belly. Two more at your own pace, feeling the breath in each part of the body. And after your last exhale, gently allowing the hands to rest back into the lap on the knees. And again, just taking a moment to be the kind observer of the self here. Just noticing how that practice felt for you, noticing with kindness. Whether you noticed that or you felt that these practices were easy or challenging for you, just bringing a sense of acceptance to recognize that this is just where we're at right now. The more we bring these beautiful practices into our life, the easier they get on all levels, not just a physical level, but really on a mental level as well. The breath and the mind are so interconnected. So not only can these practices help you with feeling more comfortable and calm in the water, they can also help you to feel much calmer in everyday life. I hope you found these helpful. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. Boo.